And we think the designated safety officer is an important addition to what you're doing, and it can help you in your overall safety performance and risk performance. But we'll dive into that. I'm going to present on that. Mike Stagg is here to back me up today. And but please, folks, if you have questions or comments, type those into the chat box, and we will answer those as we go along. Well, here's the first concept that I wanted to talk about. Safety is hard. Safety is a challenge. It's coming from somebody who has about a quarter of a century in the safety field doing this job. It's a challenge. A lot of times safety comes as an afterthought. We have whatever our responsibility is. We're providing water, we're making sure the sewer flows, we're providing some resource or recreation or whatever it may be. That's kind of our primary thing. And even though we have great intentions of having safety be first, a lot of times it's an afterthought. And it's a challenge to make that a priority in our organizations. And we get that, we understand that. I've been in a room with the corporate vice president where when we were starting the meeting, he looked over at me and he said, "Hey, first of all, tell me, would you ever work for OSHA?" And he was darn serious about that. He says, "Would you ever work for OSHA?" And I didn't have to think long, because that wasn't really in my career plans, was working for OSHA. And I said, "No." He says, "Good, because if you would, there's the door." And he let me know right away what he thought of it, what he thought of OSHA, and a few other things. And it was a challenge. Well, at the end of the day, what's safety all about? Safety is about sending our people home in one piece, alive and with all their parts attached and in reasonably the same shape as they arrived in the morning. It's about protecting our organization's resources. It's about not losing our vehicles because of crashes. It's about not having our buildings burned down, et cetera, et cetera. It's about providing a good workplace for our staff to come in and be able to do their jobs and make our communities better. But safety is hard. It's a challenge, and we understand that. And we understand that as part of our partnership with you, the members of the trust out there. Our goal is to help you make that easier. Our goal is to help you prevent those losses, to keep your people healthy and safe when they're working out there. But we realize this is a partnership, and we can only do so much. And but the lion's share of that rests on your shoulders. And so this group that we asked to come to this webinar today, we want to see where we can partner and help you with that responsibility as well. We would love to be out there and attend every one of your safety committee meetings. We'd love to be in your doing training with your folks all the time, but we realize that we can't be everywhere in a state as vast as the size of Utah. And even if we could be there, the reality is your people inside the organization are much more effective. And we've known this for a long time. And over the years, we've made various efforts and built some good programs around building safety resources, especially people within your organization. And this is no different. And we think it's an important thing. So we're announcing today the Trust Designated Safety Officer Program. Now, some of you may have already heard about this. You may have had your risk finance consultant come in and talk to you about this Designated Safety Officer Program. The goal of it is to build designated safety officers, to build people with knowledge and skills and really empowerment to be able to make safety happen in your organization, and in turn build better organizations out there. I am a firm believer in safety, but I'm a firm believer that safety can also help us be more effective and more efficient and work better as an organization, because we can use it as kind of a lead in to improving our organization. How do we communicate better? Well, safety is a global responsibility, and part of what we do there is increasing our communication, increasing our accountability, et cetera, and we'll talk about all of these things. Okay, so what's the goal of the Designated Safety Officer program? Is to reduce accidents and incidents and control your costs to the organization. Some people may look at that, oh, it's the, you know, the cruel safety angle on this of cost. Well, that's a big part of how we keep our doors open, is we need to control our costs and make sure our budgets don't go out of line. But the overall goal is we want to keep our people safe and reduce the harm that we may cause to the community and to the people that we work with. So you say, who is a designated safety officer? As our risk finance consultants are going out and talking with the chief executive officer or whoever's responsible for insurance in your organization, they've been introducing this program as a designated safety officer, and we think this is an important part of your program, is designating somebody to be responsible for safety. Not that they're responsible for the whole program, but that they are the quarterback. They are the person that coordinates the program. They're somebody who has the knowledge and the responsibility to ensure that the program keeps developing and getting better. And so this year, as we introduce this program, this becomes part of our TARP program, the Team Appreciation and Recognition Program, the incentive program that we give you as members of the trust, where we give you some money back. And part of this is to designate a safety officer so they can help your program move forward. So who is the DSO? Well, they're that central figure in the organization that brings all of the departments together when it comes to safety. They quarterback the implementation of programs. Some of you out there are longtime pros with this. I saw a few names as I saw people signing in who had been here way back in 2010 when we were doing the ERMC, the Excellence in Risk Management Certification Program. You've been doing this a long time, and you've been really successful in that, and I appreciate you still supporting us on this and keeping your organizations going forward. Part of the responsibilities of the DSO is to work with the team to meet the goals of the organization sets when it comes to safety, and to keep management informed so they know what track we're on. And so metrics are a part of that, and we'll hit those just in a minute. But I do want to really re-emphasize this point, that the designated safety officer is not the only person responsible for safety. You may have a risk manager, you may have a safety officer, whatever their title may be that does that. They have a great responsibility, but it's not all of the responsibility. Every member of management and every employee in the organization, up to our elected officials and upper management, everybody has responsibility there, but the DSO fills in this really important central cog in the works to make the program work. They keep us on track. So the role of the designated safety officer is to ensure that we have accountability, that we don't keep having the same accidents over and over again because we haven't responded to those things. The designated safety officer has backing from management, and in those meetings where our guys go in and meet with the chief executive, that's one of the things that they try to commit the chief executive officer to, is giving the DSO the backing that they need to let them know this is part of our program, and it's an essential part of our program, and it will be part of our culture as an organization. So the DSO's role is to champion the safety committee. I can't tell you how important the safety committee is in making a program work. And so if we bring those departments together and we have a common goal to reduce our losses, to keep our people safe, then we're going to be successful. And sometimes it's hard to keep that safety committee functioning. And so the DSO has that role of keeping it relevant, to keep it engaged, keep the committee engaged, and to keep it moving forward. Safety is just like any other thing that we put out there. We have to keep on our messaging. One of the major parts, major reasons why we've encouraged you to do the TARP program is because it keeps it in front of our staff. Every month we get a report and we see how we did, and maybe we get an incentive program, or maybe we don't. But the idea behind it is we stay on message that safety is important to us. And really the TARP programs where we've seen the most success have been those that are really championed and brought up each month, and where the reports go out, and really where management talks about these things and makes them an important part of each of our months. So. Okay, and the last part is really on metrics, and I alluded to that a little bit as well. The safety officer will be responsible for helping create metrics and ensuring that we're tracking those. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to do everything, but they come up with the reporting methods, and we will help you with all of those things. How do we report? What are we collecting information on, and where is it pointing us? And then feeding that information to management so they can make the decisions that need to be done based on what those metrics say. All right, so if you just found out recently or today or right now that you're the designated safety officer, you're probably asking yourself the question, now what? What the heck do I do? How do I become a safety officer? I don't know anything about, I don't know about this. I don't know about, I don't know how to be a safety person. You know, Jason's on there saying he's been doing this for 25 years and it's hard. What do I do? Well, that's our goal, is to help out just a little bit on that. So let's run through and talk about these things. So how do you become a designated safety officer for your organization? Well, number one, we want one. Now, you could have multiple people participate in this program, but we want to have one person designated by the chief executive, whoever the boss is at your organization, to become that designated safety officer. Attend an introductory course, and we're going to do this in conjunction with those OSHA 10-hour courses that we talked about in the introduction to this presentation. So the OSHA requires us to do the 10-hour course in 2 days, and so on one of those days we will be doing an introduction course after the regularly scheduled OSHA 10-hour. We'll divide that class roughly in half, and then we'll take the afternoon with the designated safety officers and introduce the various parts of being a DSO and how you can be successful in your safety program. Part of this as well, and I'll keep coming back to this, is networking with our peers. And so that introductory course will also be a time for you to become acquainted with your peers in the field, as well as Mike and myself in loss prevention at the trust, and learn where we can help each other out. Attend an OSHA 10-hour course. We've got 2 of those on the calendar right now. We will be adding several more of those. We'll be doing those on a regional basis around the state, so we can get you into one of those. You don't have to travel too far unless you want to come. Unless you want to come to the big city, we'd be happy to have you here at the trust, or the other one we have scheduled now down in Springdale. That'll be a nice spot for that. The OSHA 10-hour course is a great overview introduction to all things OSHA, and it's a good way to start learning. If you're new to this, if you've been in it a long time, I got to tell you, the OSHA 10-hour course has a lot of important material that I benefit from as well. Mike, you got anything to say here? Mike just added some stuff to the chat box.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just added to the chat box the couple of registration pages for those OSHA 10-hour courses. So if either of those are interesting to you, either at the trust coming up in March or down in Springdale coming up in April, go ahead and click there, register for those. And, we'd be happy to have, yourself, if you have other staff members that you'd like to bring along, some supervisory staff, leadership staff, that kind of thing. It'd be great to have them there too.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike, so much. And I see Don's on here today too. Thank you so much, Don, for hosting us down there in Springdale and giving us a beautiful place to have that course. So thanks so much, Don. All right. In addition,
real quick, Jason, before you move on. Yep. And also, if any of you who are on are interested in hosting one of these DSO OSHA 10 courses, let us know. We're always looking for places to go around and, make it easier for us regionally to get around and visit more of you. So if there's anyone who's interested in becoming a host for one of these OSHA 10 hours, letting us bring a lot of people into your area from around, different cities around yourself, please let us know. Let either Jason or myself know, and we'll get in touch with you and we'll get that squared away with you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Mike. Good points to remember there as well. And just on that, OSHA limits the number of people that we can have in the course, but we are holding back seats for the designated safety officer. So we definitely want to get you in there, but the classes are open to regular rank and file employees, to management as well. And so I would encourage you, if you want to take part and you've got time on either of those dates, go and sign up for those right now, because we definitely want to have the DSOs into those classes first. Then, in addition to this, we are working on regional DSO associations. Like I said just a couple of minutes ago, we think that networking and working with other peers that are doing similar things, maybe in similar organizations, can be a huge benefit to us. And so with that, we'll be kicking off regional associations, starting off with a couple, one up north and one down south, and then we'll be spreading those around the state as we get more DSOs involved. And the goal is that periodically we'll get together as an association. We'll participate, but it will really be your associations to run, and we'll get together and compare notes. And it'll give us an opportunity. We may present something from the trust angle. It may be something that one of you presents as well. Hey, we just did this, and here's how we did it and how successful we've been. It'll be an opportunity for us to share and compare when it comes to policies and procedures and how we can best make this happen. So more to come on that. So just the overall, how do I become a designated safety officer? Number one, it's buy-in. I think this is important. So I'm buying into safety, and I'm going to be the champion for it. Not that you take on every responsibility, but you be the champion to make sure your organization stays on track. Benefits of having a DSO. One, and most importantly, it'll increase our safety performance. It will reduce our losses. It will reduce our accidents and our injuries to our people, which in turn will keep our people on the job working and being more productive and having a better workplace. The trust is going to be throwing some incentives in as well. We've already mentioned that having a DSO participating in this program is part of the TARP incentive that we give to our members. So if you want the 5% of your liability premium back and 5% discounting on workers' compensation, that's part of it. There's some other, I'm going to be cryptic on this, but we will be doing some other incentives as well that will be coming down the pike as those develop throughout the year. So watch for those. What will the trust do? Like we said, we want to partner with you, providing tools, training, and this community that we talked about to help you be more successful. What tools are we talking about? Well, we have a vast library of boilerplates, policies, forms, procedures, contacts with others, standards, ANSI standards, things like that. Other tools that we provide. Our My Trust mobile application. Mike just did a webinar on that last week. E-Karma is a way that we can help you with your losses to really understand where they're coming from, which departments, are there any trends that are happening there. We also have one thing I forgot to put on here was just our MVR program to be able to keep up on your drivers and where they and how they're performing, and do they have a valid driver's license, and those regional associations that I talked about. For continuing education will help you to continue to learn and grow when it comes to this, and then that network working opportunity. So from the trust, we will help provide training as well. One is direct consultation. We want to come out to your facility and sit down with you. You may be the leader, you may be the designated safety officer, but we'd like to get in the same room with both of you. And we can do it Zoom if you need to do it that way, but we'd like to sit down and talk about what's your history, where have you come from, what do you have in place, because some of you out there have been working on this for a long time and are very successful, and we'll work with you on that angle. Some of you may just be starting out and really need some help on well, how do we really kick this off and get that going. That's part of that on-site meeting. Is we'll bring in the information that we have about your losses, and we'll put together a plan to help you build your program at whatever point you're at in the program. At the OSHA 10 hour, we talked about that, and then the specific training after the OSHA 10. And then we also have lots of resources to help you build your program, like our Cantola Streamery, the Labor Commission lunches, the regular webinars that we do, and we'll help you put together a program that will build your training program. And once again, those regional associations are a key part of this, because as we spread out and build our programs, I think it's essential that we work with our peers in our community to get better. We can grow as we go through our careers and build our program, but we can really make synergy happen if we work together. So that is the overview of the DSO program. I hope I was clear in explaining how that works, but I want to give everybody a chance to ask questions. If you got any comments, type those into the chat box and we'll answer those now. Mike, was there anything I missed while people are putting their questions in?
I don't think so. I think you did a great job. I mean, we're really excited about this DSO program, not only the benefits that it can bring to you personally and you as the designated safety officer. I mean, it's a great opportunity, but also the impact that you'll make within the entire organization. I mean, it's going to be really cool. And these regional associations, we're really excited about those. I mean, starting off on a statewide approach, but then drilling down and getting really to the meat of some things that happen regionally. That ability to network together and talk about these common issues and things that you guys might be finding in your organizations. We're really excited about helping and kicking those off. And like Jason said, we love to be a part of those with you guys as we're starting out and help get those things going. So again, we're just super excited about this, and thank you for being willing to help out your organizations.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Really appreciate that. Do you see any questions? I can't scroll through there.
I don't. I mean, we had a question about ANSI standards. Do we have access to those to view those standards and things like that?
Not all of those, but we do have the ones that really pertain to our organizations and that. So if you do have a specific question on that, let me know. And if there's one that we don't have that we really should have, we'll go out and purchase that and be able to help you out with that. Okay. Like we got a couple of thank yous popped up there. Well, going forward, if you are hot on this program and you want to get started, give us a call. we will be making contact with you, and we want to set up this initial meeting with you and the chief executive, or if you are the executive, designate your safety officer, and let's sit down and go through your losses and come up with a plan. What are your steps? Well, sign up for one of these OSHA 10 courses if you want to, host one in your organization, so we get one down. It looks like we got folks from Moab on there. You want to set one up down in the southeastern part of the state. Let's talk and get that put together. But let's build that program with you and move forward. So.
And again, those sign up links for the two different courses we do have right now, those two OSHA 10 courses, one at the Trust in March, and then the one down in Springdale in April. Those are live right now. Go ahead and click there, get registered. We'll the Trust is always good about bringing donuts and having lunch, and so we'll make sure that we make it worth your while for sure. And Jason and I are excited to facilitate those courses for you.
Yeah, it looks like Mike's asking about if you already have an OSHA 10. Yeah, if you've already got that, we're not gonna push you to go and do the same course again. The one thing we would like you to attend though is that DSO course around one of those. So if you come up in the afternoon and we'll post that class as well. For the DSOs there. So yeah, definitely we can do it. Scott, absolutely. We'll give you a call and we'll get set up with you there. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate everybody's time today, and we are happy to answer questions. We're happy to sit down with you and go through what your history is and how we can get better. So thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. Have a safe day.